Eikaiwa Confessions now. Oh, we record? Yo, are you still record, dog? So today's Eikaiwa Confessions is basically about things being not all that bad, you know? Like a cold. Some people prefer pizza, we're piping hot. Some like it cold. Some like the pan crust. Some like the thin or whatever. Whatever your thing is, you know? Such is the life of an Eikaiwa teacher in Japan. I would toss it away, but I actually paid for it. Like 2,500 yen. Yeah! Welcome back to my channel. Now, as I was saying, what Eikaiwa is, it's not all bad. Oftentimes, we only highlight things that are negative about our situations, and probably I might be a victim of that. Sharing a lot of the things that are not as positive or as good as some people might feel about whatever situation they're in. And, you know, to be honest, not all Eikaiwas are bad.
Not all Eikaiwas are bad.
Andre, what are you talking about? Eikaiwas are not meant for kids, they're meant to be. Right, sorry. What I meant to say was, in each situation there's positive and there's negative, and there are pros and cons. But nobody wants to hear that. They just want to hear about the sensational, viral stuff that will make people get angry and alt left and alt right and Control Alt Delete Alt Shift F4. They want Alt F4 everything and nuke it. But right, I'm still here. I've been here for 4 years teaching, and what I've realized with teaching these Japanese kids, I did a video before about Japanese kids being really trash. And yes, I did it as a counter argument to the perceived notion and myth that Japanese kids are perfect and well behaved and super disciplined and whatever. Yes, they do exhibit some differences in terms of their moral code and their ethics and how they behave usually, but kids are just kids, as I said in the last video. What's really interesting as well is that kids' behaviors often is determined by their environment. Right? Not that it's how conducive it is for learning, but in terms of the fact that if they're in the suburbs, if they're in the countryside, if they're in the city. And I've taught in all areas basically, and I've found that the behavior gets much better. There seems to be a correlation, I don't know if it's a causation yet, but a correlation between good behavior and the distance they are away from the city. And I probably need to do proper studies for that, you know, and research before I can jump to conclusions, unlike certain people that will remain nameless. Right, boom. So yes, I found that I just left my school after teaching there for 4 years, almost 4 years. And there's some kids that didn't like me at all, but they respected me, which is what I care about. I don't care if you don't like me. What I want you is respect me and do the work that you're here to do. And a lot of these kids sometimes don't have that disciplinarian in their family or at school, and sometimes you as an Eikaiwa teacher have to become the disciplinarian. You have to become the bad guy. You have to become the doctor. You have to become the psychologist, and you know. And then you have persons that look down on Eikaiwa teachers or Eikaiwa people that work at Eikaiwa because they're not doing, we're not doing formal lesson plans and you wear jeans and a shirt to school, or you don't work in a proper classroom, or you don't work in a private classroom. No, we're all trying to further English in this country, trying to disseminate information. I also try to teach my kids life lessons. I don't only go there to teach them English, because I teach them world skills, man, because I tell them, hey, culturally, this might be okay here, but if you go to a foreigner or go to another country and say the same thing you say here, you will end up in the ground or badly beaten. And there's no police that can save you because you don't have that white privilege. Wait, oops. Wrong video. Let's edit that one out. Right, back to it. Really, it's not all that bad. I have had a good supervisor that prior to this, and the supervisor seems really chill. My supervisor before made my life a lot easier in the company. The company itself is not 100%, you know, they're a bit shady. You know, I won't say their names because if I say their names, then, you know, but yeah, I'll get in trouble. But yeah, it can be, you know what I mean? It seems like it's not about the children. It's more about the customer. Now, you notice the wording I use. The children are our customers, right? And so as the customers, they have a certain level of control. And so you have to have that balance with telling a child who is your customer to be quiet or disciplining them. Because if they become unhappy, then they go report to their parents go and make a complaint to the company comes on your supervisor comes on you, and then it becomes a claim, and then there's a one bag of issue, and the teacher might, you know, eventually might not be asked to renew their contract because of several complaints from parents because of unhappy children. Now, if the claims are unfounded and the children are liars, that will eventually come out in the wash. Or if your co-workers are liars, that will eventually come out in the wash, usually. Now, if you're Japanese, and if you can't speak Japanese or understand Japanese, and you're around these Japanese kids, they talk the most. Like legit, these kids say stuff, man. You know what's so interesting? All this innocence being poked about and how persons interpret their interactions are amazing. And I realized that the length of your tenure in Japan also determines how you react to certain things and how you behave. I.e., the longer in Japan is sometimes the less you tend to give. You know what I mean? And experience is a teacher of, is teacher of, experience is the mother of wisdom, them say. That's it? That's the saying? Help me out. Right. And so with experience, you find out different ways and strategies and tactics how to handle these kids. And so at the time, I was 2 years in. So I was, but now I think I'm pretty much experienced. I know how to handle certain situations, even the worst situations. And so I feel accomplished. Really and truly, the kids often make the job worth it, more often than not. And no matter how many, if the kids, even if you have to travel 2 hours to a class or hour and a half to a class, and then the communities, and you get home by 12 midnight, if the kids are good, I mean, you don't really feel as tired or as bad as if the kids are demons, you know what I mean? And then you have to deal with that and become physically tired and mentally tired. And so you have to balance all of these things, you know what I mean? And just like I think the issue with a lot of persons that come to Japan to teach, they think they're coming for a vacation because Japan is the land of anime, land of sushi and green tea and cotton candy and all these temples and whatever. But you come to Japan to work, right? So you come to Japan to work, and so persons come here with expectations that they're going to have a lot of free time and it's a vacation and it's their first job. A lot of foreigners, a lot of Americans, and so, oh my God, Japan, you have so many things to offer me, but you don't have this. Oh my God. And so a lot of them are unable to do so. For one, I took 2 days to come to Japan. So I would never quit my job before actually working back my plane fare at least. And something else in profit, you know what I mean? But persons quit within a day of training because they already had plans to leave the company and that sort of thing, which is really bad. But it's not all bad. And I find there are a lot of positives I can take from my job. I find that now that I have a beginner's understanding of Japanese, I am able to understand the kids more, and I'm able to nip things in the buds much quicker than someone who doesn't speak Japanese. And that's a disadvantage that some may have. It's also a curse because if you understand what the kids are saying, you may want to react to what they're saying. And sometimes they can say some pretty hurtful things. They will look at you and say, oh, you look like shit. And literally, you look like shit because your skin is dark. They don't say that to white people. Point. Right. They was looking at you and say you look like a gorilla, when oftentimes the Japanese kid that is saying it looks more of a gorilla than you will ever be. But you can't tell them that. You're not supposed to. And if you do, then you can't say I told you you could, but don't do it. Don't ever do it. You know, so it's really an interesting dynamic, balancing your the English and the Japanese and what is okay for them, what's okay for you in the classroom. And to be quite frank, I confess that I still feel uncomfortable doing some things that these Japanese kids find okay. I confess that I am not the best teacher, but I know that your kid will learn something. I confess, my friends and my brothers and my sisters, that I will give my best at all times. I confess that I have lost my cool in the class with some of these kids. But it's not all bad because I do enjoy it sometimes. I enjoy the games, I enjoy the camaraderie, I enjoy making new friends. Some of my students have become my friends once I've graduated and moved on. I'm still in contact with them, you know, because, you know, there's a connection in life, you know. And some of the parents are really nice. Some of them are not that nice and they were kind of initially scared of me. Let me share a story with you guys. My supervisor told me in my final evaluation in my old area that, hey, Andre, you know, when he initially came here, the parents were saying, no, he's too big, he's too dark, he's too scary, change him. And my PS said to them, you haven't even met him, you haven't even been with him for a month, give him a chance. And so by the end of my tenure in that area, my lessons were renowned for being fun, and everybody when they heard that I was coming to their school, they were told that, oh, it's the Omoshiroi sensei, the funniest teacher, the interesting teacher, the cool teacher that's coming to teach your lesson. And so I really appreciate that my supervisor stood up for me at that time. When I was leaving my area as well, the kids, am I going to cry? Am I going to really cry right there? Right, some of the kids at my best schools wrote letters for me, and one little girl in particular said, I just said, her name is, I won't say her name, but it's a family of 3, and she said, Andre, thank you, your lessons were always fun and your games were fun, and please forget me never. Listen to me, guys. I had to fight the eye sweat. I was reading it and a lone sweat coming down because, you know, I sweat a lot and my eyes also tend to sweat, and I was like, listen, I was about to lose my trash right there. Then at the school I taught at first, these 2 girls who act like they don't really like me or whatever, but I knew they loved me. They wrote me letters about my presents, and when I was leaving they started to cry. Listen, I can't right now thinking about it. I'm getting well up, but I think one of those girls wanted to be an English teacher, and I really pressed her. A lot of she said, "Mendok side says Mendok side," but she really was just like, "Yo, I don't want to do it." She just said it to get a reaction from me, and that's another thing. The kids here apparently like to say things to get a reaction. Recently, 4 and 5 year old girls were saying, "Sensei, chin chin misete." I'm like, what? You just back up. They asked to see my dick. No, I don't know which country that's okay and funny to ask someone to see their penis. First of all, I'm not a pedophile. You little girl, you're not my type. You're too young. You're a student. Little girl, you need to behave yourself and know your ABCs. Can you say A to Z? This little 5-year-old Japanese girl asked me, the black foreigner, to say my junk. And then me, I go jail. Me, I go get deported. No, little girl, you will not look or touch anything on my person. You will stay over there, sir, and me will stay here, sir, and teach you. Coconut? Isn't that scary? Like, but I told a Japanese friend, I said, no, the kids say that because they want to see your reaction. They love your reaction. Like, yeah, they can go react to their mama and papa. Thank you. Ask them to see that and go play with them. Like when they take family baths and bathe together in the same bath water, them can ask them father for them ching, for him ching ching. Yes. And that's it. Right. Wow, this video went all over the place, but in a sense, I just want you guys to feel my emotion while going through the video as well, because that's how teaching in Eikaiwa is. It's up sometimes, it's down sometimes, and sometimes it's just like a flat line in the middle. So in the comments down below, if you work in Japan as a teacher or you wish to work, what are some of the questions you have? What are some of the experiences you have had in Japan as a teacher? It is a long ass confession video because we just chat and a rant because it's raw emotion, and I know you guys love that from me, and so I'm giving you what you want, serving it up on a platter. And yeah. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, share, tell a friend them about me. These are my confessions now. Yeah. Hey, you want to teach in Japan? Yeah. You want to teach in Japan? Hey, get that degree first. Yeah, get that degree first. Hey, you want to teach in Japan? Japan. Teach in Japan. Get that degree first. Yeah, get that degree first. Then you search online for the company you want to join that can accept you. Search online for the company you want online. They want to accept you. Hey, teach in Japan. Hey, teach in Japan. Hey, teach in Japan. Hey, teach in Japan. Eikaiwa. Because a guy in Jamaican YouTuber, Ikima show. You're too young. You're a student. I don't mix business and pleasure. And yeah, you're just. Let me just get rid of that because that's just going to cause a lot of problems in the video.